sale right now.
Oh, yeah, I should have it by Friday. You're right.
All right,
Hunter, did you get home for a little bit, and was it nice to just kind of get step away from basketball for a little bit, and how was the break?
It was amazing. Yeah, I think I really needed that break bad. I just feel like my headspace and where I was at, I feel like that break going home, just not thinking about basketball, not thinking about anything for 2-3 days, just being with family, I thought was really great for me.
And kind of a crazy question, but do you still get excited for the season? I mean, do you look forward to?
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. Like especially, you know, like in the summer and stuff. Especially here, because you know I didn't know what to expect going into the season, playing at Allen Fieldhouse, playing for Coach Self and all that. I just heard things. I heard from teammates, from coaches, and everything what it's like. So I was very much anticipating this season. But I do love the games. That's my favorite part about basketball is playing in the games. I feel like that's what, you know, you put your body through all the stress of practice, working out, all that stuff, lifting, to be able to perform in the games. And so that's my favorite part. So that's why I play the game, and I am always excited for the start of the season and the season.
If you're willing, what was your headspace? What, just overwhelmed or just needed a break or what?
Yeah, I think maybe just like frustrated, maybe with my play, and just needing that like kind of reset. I feel like was big for me.
Any area specifically?
I think just, you know, how teams were playing me. I think, you know, I wasn't really used to that, and just, you know, the way I was trying to find my spots. I think having that reset, coming in with a new mind, I feel very refreshed.
Are there other ways that you are or can try to attack that? You know, whether it's extra film or watching film of other players and how they're guarded the same way, that kind of thing? I mean, are you doing any of that stuff?
Yeah, no, I'm doing things a little bit different. Just being more aggressive with my positioning, and I think, you know, just going back to my old ways of, you know, trying to get deeper paint touches. I think just trying to be more aggressive with my posting up. I think is something that I've been trying to work on these last 2 days.
Are they just throwing 2 men at you as soon as you get the ball or before you get the ball?
I think it's a lot like before. Trying not to let me catch it. You know, they're making it really tough for me to get, you know, even catches. And then once I get it, obviously, you know, they're usually double teams or heavy loading up on me. So it's been a little bit of a challenge. But I mean, when you got, you know, a really good team like this, that, you know, you're able to make them pay a lot more. And we've been doing that. So, you know, when you're 11-1, you know, you're doing some things right for sure.
Frustration aside, is that flattering at all? When you're getting that kind of attention?
I mean, I think at first it was, like, back in, like, my sophomore year, it was, but now it kind of gets a little annoying. But, like, you get so used to it, it's, like, kind of expected. Like, I'm almost shocked if I get a one-on-one. I don't know the last time I got a one-on-one matchup. It's probably back, like, last year sometime.
Hunter, our bench is coming along, but a lot is expected out of the core four. Just talk about the four of you guys and you know how impressed you are with the three guys, those other three, and how there's probably a lot of expectation that all of you step up and play well each game.
Yeah, we knew early on in the season, just the way we were trying to bring the young guys along, we knew early on that, you know, the four experienced guys in the starting lineup are going to have to shoulder a lot of the weight and carry a lot of the load for the team. But now I think, you know, guys are starting to really find their groove. I mean, you saw Nick play, you know, his best game of the season versus Yale, and I think everybody kind of was not surprised by it the way he was practicing earlier in the week. But that was really good for him to kind of get that and be able to play that well. I think was just a big boost for his confidence. And then like Marco's been playing really solid the last couple games. I think defensively he's starting to realize that's where he can lay his hat on, is defensively just being solid, not having to do too much, just being able to stay in front of your man and really defensive position. And I think was big for him, learning just you know, because the high school game and college game is so different defensively, because you know you can get away with hugging your man or, you know, being late to a closeout, stuff like that in college. You know, teams will really make you pay, and the speed of the game, like a switch in high school is very different from a switch from college, like a down screen and stuff like that. So I think him learning the game and the pace of the game and really getting comfortable with that has really helped him. And then, obviously the Australian, he's been playing solid the whole year. Just offensively, defensively, I think he's been huge for us. Jamari's been an X factor in numerous games. I think coach is very comfortable having him out there at the end of games, with Kentucky and then Indiana. Those two games were big wins for us, and he was definitely the X factor late for those. So I think the bench has really come along, and I think that's something that will be big for us. And then obviously Parker has been solid all year. That's what coach has been saying. When he mentions the new guys, he doesn't really mention Parker anymore because he's always been that consistency. If anything, he's probably wanted him to shoot more. That's probably the only negative that coach has been saying about P is that he's just not been aggressive enough. And I think that's just his own selfishness, is just trying to get teammates available. So it's been really inspiring seeing how far the team has come, especially the new guys. And I think that's why we're so dangerous. I think that's why we were picked #1 preseason, was because we have that mix of experience, but also young guys that, if they can grow into what they're expected to grow into, we'll be a really dangerous team.
And then you and Kevin posting All-American-like numbers. Not many teams have that, guys that you could make a case for, although it's very early on, each posting All-American numbers.
Yeah, it's been great to play with Kevin. I don't think there's any jealousy on this team at all, but especially between us, I love it because it's somebody who takes a lot of pressure off me. There's been times in my career where I feel like I had to kind of get the ball and get a bucket, especially late in shot clock, and now there's a guy on my team that, I can just let him rock out. If there's 10 seconds on the shot clock, I don't have to go set a ball screen for him or stuff like that. Or even if we're if we're out of sync for a couple possessions, he's a guy that can go get a bucket whenever. And so he's been great. I'm very glad he came back because I don't know where we would be without him. But he's just, coach said he's the best all-around player because offensively he gives you so much, but then defensively, he's the best player in America. And so it's just there's a reason why he's going to get picked in the first round this upcoming years, because he's just a great basketball player. And so I've really had a lot of fun playing with him.
Got time for one more?
Were there any highlights at the clinic for you yesterday? It seemed like all those kids gravitated to you.
It was just great to see the kids that I brought in from Fort Leavenworth. I paid for some of the kids to come, and just see them just be so happy to be there. That made me really feel good about myself, and just being able to provide them that experience. That's something I felt good with.
Did you bring in 12 kids?
Yeah, from the Army.
Did you work with them specifically, or were they all over?
They were all over.
Yeah.
We were doing stations and stuff, so it got really hectic.
Yeah.
There was a lot of kids in a short period of time.
All right, Hunter.
Thanks, Hunter.